I'm going to play a short clip from a video from YouTube, and I'll put a link to the full video at the bottom in the description box. But this is a video of a Canadian doctor named Donald Lowe, who was dying of brain cancer. He made this video a few days before he died, and then after he died, his family put the video up on YouTube. So this is a clip.
I think what surprised me the most is how the objection to it, the inability to do it in Canada, that there is no way in Canada, no place in Canada where you can have support to have dying with dignity, as there is in several countries and a number of states in the United States that do have programs in place. The drugs that are used in countries where this is accepted are narcotics that give you a very simple way out. It's drinking a cocktail, and you fall asleep, and you do this in the presence of your family. And I've discussed this with my family, that they're all accepting to this. So, in countries where it's legal, it's quite easy to do, actually. In countries where it's not legal, it's pretty well impossible. In Canada, it's illegal, and it'll be a long time before we mature to a level where we accept dying with dignity.
Recently, a Canadian doctor named Donald Lowe released a video. Well, his family released a video of him advocating assisted suicide. Now, Donald Lowe, he died of brain cancer. So he made a video a few days before he died. He made this video calling for assisted suicide because he had terminal brain cancer and he was going to die. So after his death, which was in the month of September 2013, a little while after he died, his family or his wife released the video, put it on YouTube. But he was in the video, and Donald Lowe was he was known he worked in the city of Toronto, which is Canada's biggest city, and he was involved in the SARS crisis, severe acute respiratory syndrome, which was about roughly 10 years ago. That was a disease, infectious disease. I'm sure some people would remember this, an infectious disease that it was a new infection and it was killing people. People were dying from it, and it caused a little bit of a panic. It was in China and Toronto and spreading around the world. So, and at that time, Donald Lowe was one of the leading public health figures involved in that situation, involved in trying to control the disease, that new SARS. But so he died of brain cancer, terminal brain cancer, a short while ago. And so he made this video. He was saying that people should be allowed to die with dignity, and he was saying that the Canadian laws, he was criticizing the Canadian laws that didn't allow assisted suicide, and he was criticizing his medical colleagues who opposed assisted suicide. Now, personally, I support assisted suicide for terminal illnesses. And the reason I support it is because there are people who are dying. When people are dying and they have a terminal illness, it's not really a pretty sight to see people dying. And basically, some people have to suffer before they die. And there are people who know they're going to die, and everybody around them knows they're going to die. There's no way for them to recover. So in those cases, I think that it would be very merciful to put them out of their misery. So, for example, if there's a dog with rabies, then dog owner will kill the dog to put it out of its misery, because otherwise the dog is going to suffer, and it's going to die anyway, but it's going to suffer before it dies. And another example would be if a soldier is on the battlefield and they see they have a horrifically wounded comrade, maybe someone who got blown up and half their body's gone or something, and they're going to die, then the fellow soldier might just shoot the person and kill them on the spot to put them out of their misery and prevent them from having to die a slow and painful death. So that's the reason why I think assisted suicide in some cases is a very a kind thing to do. Because in the case of this doctor, Donald Lowe, he had brain cancer. He was dying, and I guess the cancer was damaging his brain. So first of all, he was blind. He was going blind when he made the video. You could see in the video of him, his last video a few days before he died, he was blind already. And by the time he died, apparently his wife said he didn't recognize people's voices. So his brain was going down. So I think just in order to spare people the discomfort of having to, or suffering of having to die in very uncomfortable ways, it would be better to just allow them to have assisted suicide if necessary. I mean, if they can't do it themselves. So. And the other thing is, if they do it in an official way, then there won't be, if you have a spouse, if somebody gets their spouse to kill them, then it creates a legal issue, because you don't know if it was a murder. Like, legally it will be a murder, but then a person could claim that you could have a spouse somebody kill their spouse and then claim that it was assisted suicide, and it's illegal. They could be lying. They might be telling the truth. Whereas if it's legal assisted suicide, it's more official, and there's not going to be questions about whether it was consensual or not, if there was a legal way to do it. And but basically I support it as basically mainly in cases of terminal illness. So if somebody's depressed or something or whatever, they want to kill themselves. Let them do it themselves. But if somebody has a terminal illness like brain cancer or something, or AIDS or whatever, and they're going to die, then I think assisted suicide is definitely would definitely be something that should be allowed in those cases. Not for just people who want to commit suicide, or who are healthy and want to kill themselves,